Before the Pyramidis Radius, there was the TEMPLA MAR, which was revealed to me in the early 1990s. Thoth assures me it is still quite active. Understand that the Pyramidis Radius Matrix is the big one, forming and including all the others on the planet. TEMPLA MAR is probably the most primary of all submatrices now within the Pyramidis Radius Matrix. The TEMPLA MAR matrix was integrated into this reality zone in 1993. It was at that time referred to by Thoth as both a grid and a matrix, yet the TEMPLA MAR matrix is not a confining pattern. It is as infinite as all creation and subject to the transforming spiritual patterns of the cosmic soul. It was created in synergy by ultra beings and humans as a membrane of networking among the many electromagnetic zones of Earth in various time-space dimensions. So why do we need both the TEMPLA MAR and the Pyramidis Radius, as they both seem to give us portals to the new Earth? The TEMPLA MAR was designed to integrate personally with human beings on that wavelength. It is in a way a preparation for awakening and stimulating through color, sound, and symbols, much like the living 3D crop circles. It is also more than that. It mends certain timelines that have been warped by the collie rift. Now I'm reading to you here from something I wrote a few years ago trying to piece it all together. But I want to state here the really important difference, which I didn't say here, of the two, the Pyramidis Radius and the TEMPLA MAR. The Pyramidis Radius is an envelope. It's an energetic envelope, but it's an envelope for all the grids of the planet, every single one, every single kind, from the major to the minor to the infinitesimal. If those grids were not incorporated into the Pyramidis Radius, it would basically be an empty house, It would not serve any purpose. It would just be sort of an energy field, but nothing would be going on in there. So all of these components create the living experience of the Pyramidis Radius that you can find spoken about in the video I made on the Pyramidis Radius. So again, the TEMPLA MAR is the main trigger, the main interdimensional component of the Pyramidis Radius matrix, at least up to this point, okay? I never say never about something else coming in, even grander. But right now, that's how I'm shown this. And so, it is also more than that. It mends certain timelines that have been warped by the collie rift. Well, the collie rift is this rift that took place in our time experience that separates us from the Ranna time wave. Ranna time wave is not a timeline. I'm not going to go into depth in that, but I will place a link to the video on the Ranna time wave, which also talks about the collie rift, in the information box below this video. Now, from 1999, a transmission from Thoth in that year, the TEMPLA MAR is a specific inner planes matrix which was programmed to enter the Earth's linear timeline in 1993 from a distant point in the future new Earth star or ascended reality. This inner planes matrix is to be differentiated from an Earth grid in that while it interacts with the current time Earth and has geophysical points upon which it is anchored, its true location is in future dimension of the planet's reality. Furthermore, the TEMPLA MAR spans various associated universal reality systems. The TEMPLA MAR's place of true anchorage is located in the future city of Corbola, which finds its point of cohesion geophysically on the current Earth in the area of Masada, near the Dead Sea in Israel. Masada holds light codes within the matter of the current Earth, which form a template for the future time city of Corbola. Thus they share the same etheric space, but in different time fields. The TEMPLA MAR also contains a sub-reality of its own, which human spiritual initiates may enter in order to re-access specific light programs encoded within their light bodies and DNA. These light programs are also held within the greater past, present, future continuum awaiting our return. Once reactivated, these programs of light will allow the souls who have accessed them to rejoin the universal family of the Adam Kadmon, which is also known as the Humanity League. Now, to pause for a moment, the Adam Kadmon is really an old biblical term that Thoth adopted to describe the template, the blueprint. He calls it the blueprint of the human form. Not only how we look, but the whole cosmogony of the human body as a cosmic template. And we share this template with the star kindred, the inner earth kindred, etc. The TEMPLA MAR serves as a tool to help humanity prepare for the full impact of ascension energetics and to bring about coherency between the various human energy bodies. The importance of this cannot be stressed enough. Ascension energetics will be the most powerful and blissful to those who are adequately prepared, but it could be quite difficult if much disharmony remains among the various human energy bodies. It is the hierarchy's wish that humanity be given a full measure of divine grace for this preparation, and the TEMPLA MAR is one way that it is being administered. Now I pause again for a moment. This is the main theme of the greater PYRAMIDIS radius, but it needs the device, the inclusion of the TEMPLA MAR frequency in order to succeed in this projection. As part of this grace factor, humanity's link with the Ranna time wave will also be healed to the next level through the activity of the TEMPLA MAR dynamic in conjunction with certain elemental beings. A portion of our beingness has become separated from the Ranna time wave, the time component of our true origins, through the formation of the collie rift. The TEMPLA MAR serves to balance the interaction between Earth incarnate souls and other highly evolved elemental beings, i.e., cetaceans and unicorns and dragons. These specific elemental beings operate more freely in other dimensions, alternate realities, and time zones, and have a greater portion of their beingness still within the Ranna. This greater balance effected by the TEMPLA MAR lessens the time fracture distortions that are currently present in our interactions with these elemental beings, and that limit our ability to commune with them. These elemental beings represent an aspect of humanity which has not been fully separated from the Ranna time wave by the collie rift. Thus, through a more balanced interaction with them, we can reclaim that which is our true heritage. Elemental beings such as dolphins, whales, unicorns are able to holographically receive the signal breath which is emanating from the TEMPLA MAR future consciousness translations much more fully than are the humans. This is because of their holographic brain wave functioning, which allows a higher degree of resonance within this future consciousness signal than is currently possible for incarnate humanity. These elemental beings take this signal breath and incorporate it into their own reality spectrum, which is part of the elemental planetary mind, and thus helping to seed it for humanity to access within its own elemental aspects. This elemental aspect of humanity is the cellular consciousness. Therefore, the dolphins, whales, unicorns, dragons, and other highly evolved elemental beings are able to hologram their future consciousness into the cellular aspect of humanity. They do this in a way which transcends the need to progressively evolve the human mind in order to reprogram the DNA so that the cells may operate within their full holograph once again. As an aside, the signal breath is really the same as the Opa desire breath. I did a video on that, and in that same video is about Corbola on Masada. So even though I placed a link to it in part 1, I'm going to place a link to it below, in part 2 here in the information box. But the desire breath is another aspect, another focus of what he's calling the signal breath here in this transmission. In around the year 2000, I was given by Thoth a representation of the 9 nodes of TEMPLA MAR. And so I'm going to give them to you here. Try to feel it in your being as we move through this. It's kind of like a codex of spiritual energy, which can make your energy bodies more sensitive to aligning to the portals that exist within them. The northern door. From the manifest of the north, the light streams to the center of the earth. It is the entry door for the stellar patterns that guide the planet in its motion through space, and the angelic signals that facilitate the physical and spiritual evolution of all life forms. In the TEMPLA MAR matrix, the northern door opens to bring these star codes into the Holy of Holies of the matrix, so that the TEMPLA MAR is attuned to and moves with the planetary field and is sensitive to the evolutionary cycles. The keynote receptors are stellar patterns and angelic signals. Southern door. From the sacred vessel of the south, the earth is sustained and nurtured by the life-giving pulse emanating from all nature. In the TEMPLA MAR matrix, the southern door opens to the bright seed of heart light in the interior of the earth and throughout all of nature's abundance. This opening allows the fullness of Gaia to fill the matrix of the sea temple, TEMPLA MAR. The keynote receptors are elements, elementals, fairy, siddhi, all natural impulse and being. Path of the Mother. Whereas the southern door allows nature entry into the matrix, the path of the Mother offers it the soul of the earth. This is the most sacred breath of Gaia that fills the energy system of the TEMPLA MAR. With each breath of the earth soul, so the matrix of the TEMPLA MAR is infused with her sacred presence, as represented in the crystal egg of her womb. Keynote receptors, divine feminine, breath, soul light. Heal stone, purifier of all forms of illusion through achieving the still point amidst chaos. In the TEMPLA MAR, the heal stone allows the matrix to be stable, to align only to the heart in the center of being. Yet the heal supports the weight of the whole. It is therefore a most primal surge of power, frozen in the moment of refinement, when love embraces the chaos and cools the emotion to become the spiritual fire that does not burn. Keynote receptors, transformation, still point, primal power embraced by love. Horizon of Thoth, passage from east to west of the time continuum. Thoth, as the measure of time, instructs the muses in the weaving of their web of fate, that which is created out of the web of mind. The horizon of Thoth balances, distributes, and calibrates the streaming of time consciousness within the matrix. Keynote receptors, streaming of time, the balance of time and no time, distribution of order and measure. Creation pillar, the foundation of the earth temple as a creational system. In the matrix, it is the foundational pillar of substantiation upon which all form and system perpetuates the components of the whole. Keynote receptors, creation, foundation, substantiation, alpha and omega. Tree of knowledge. The fruit of the tree is extended to humanity. Is it a gift or a curse? It is neither. It is the structural tension through which the tempering of the soul is achieved. In the TEMPLA MAR, the tree of knowledge offers pathways to travel, yet all points lead nowhere until the matrix becomes the crucible of the heart. Keynote receptors, knowledge, pathways, structural tension. Dweller of divine fire. Thrones of the Elohim or creator gods. The universal hierarchy streams through the Elohim points in the earth, stirring the divine fire in the crucible. The dweller of divine fire is the Hierophant, who orchestrates the solar initiations in the earth. In the TEMPLA MAR, this crucible is the Holy of Holies, where all pathways meet. The Temple of the Gods contains the mitheric flame high in the wilderness atop the world that sends the signal of divine charge into the core of the earth. Keynote receptors, hierarchy, instigation of divine command. And the ninth node is the Holy of Holies, the center of the planet, where the innermost first fire flames eternal. This is the heart chamber of the TEMPLA MAR. The keynote receptors are the heart, center, most holy. This concludes the 9 nodes of the TEMPLA MAR. The guardians of the TEMPLA MAR are called the Kioptos. These are the beings that hold the stations of Anubis, once a mystery school focus unto themselves, but now which exists solely within the etheric. The Kioptos are preparers of the way for those who enter the underworld or inner dimensions of time-space. They are currently integrating with Earth Davic consciousness as wolves and sometimes coyotes and foxes, but to the Egyptians they were jackals and associated with Sirius. The Kioptos do not have any understanding of indecision, fear, and lesser ego. They know only the passage of wisdom through knowledge of truth. Thus, those who would choose to interact with the Kioptos should be sure they truly desire and are ready to receive that which they ask of these beings. As a mystery school focus, the stations of Anubis were created by Thoth in his incarnation as Racemus of Afra. Anubis was in fact created from an aspect of the Sahu energy body of Thoth. If you will remember, Thoth is the master architect of the TEMPLA MAR as well. Thus, it becomes apparent that the Kioptos Anubis TEMPLA MAR dynamic is an extension of his being par excellence. I wish to say here that Thoth works under the Lord Michael, Lord Michael, that angelic or archangelic station. So, although it was Thoth who created the TEMPLA MAR, in the simplest definition of that, it comes from a greater station of light, from Lord Michael. And where does he come from? Through the Metatron, through the higher realm of the Metatronic being. So it's also a hierarchy of expression. Thoth and other illumined beings are able to move back and forth through time, or perhaps it would be more correct to say that their beingness encompasses all time as we know it. Therefore, these beings can enter the new Earth star of the future at will. Thoth designed and established a main temple in Corbola, that is the city, remember, that is the link between TEMPLA MAR and our consciousness. And this city of light is on Masada. That's the anchor node, Masada near the Dead Sea. So again, Thoth designed and established a main temple in Corbola that holds specific light codes for the transmission of consciousness through space-time. Then he created crystalline pathways or synapses from Corbola to the crystalline grid installed upon the Mogollon Rim in Arizona in 1994. This was when a group of my gathering at the time that Thoth was overlighting, we called ourselves the Isis Templars. Rather, we didn't. He called us that. We were involved in anchoring the aspect of TEMPLA MAR at the Mogollon Rim. Now, I have a feeling I'm not pronouncing Mogollon correctly. I do apologize. The Mogollon Rim acts as a receptive resonating field. Its anchor point serves to ground higher light forms through which sentient consciousness may commune and build healing synapses together. This interaction forms a light language of its own, which is created by souls in communion with each other through the TEMPLA MAR dynamic. As this light language penetrates through the collie rift and passes into the Ranna time wave via the TEMPLA MAR as an intermediary contact point, the collie rift can be worked upon for planetary time fracture healing from a greater place of stability and awareness. On a sacred journey which my former husband Simeon and I facilitated to Egypt, Sinai, Jordan, and Israel in November of 1997, a small company of us visited the ruins of Masada in Israel. These ruins sit atop an impressive plateau overlooking the Dead Sea. It was a profound experience in that we made a very conscious link to the future Corbolan city which coexists with Masada in a space-time overlap. We were given a direct interaction with one of the Corbolans named Yani Hoka. He took us through a specific ceremonial initiation which remains vivid in our minds to this day. Yet another factor in Corbola Masada's part in the Earth ascension dynamics is the fact that they sit on a key plethia or pillar node for Leowish pillar of deliverance in its interface with the new Earth star reality. The Leowish pillar, which extends through the 4444 Stargate between the old Earth and the new Earth, is referred to as the Sitkum. It is the main transport mechanism for the ascension and also maintains stability between the various parts of the whole new Earth star dynamic as it comes together in a cohesive reality system. In the New Earth star reality, there are specific points or nodes where the Sitkun interfaces with it. The city of Corbola is positioned intentionally on one of these pillar nodes. Although they are not yet activated, there are such Plethea in the old Earth, our current Earth, as well. The 12 gates of the Ascension Temple Matrix associated with the Golden Taya allotments are also pillar nodes, as in the Temple of the Risen One, or Great Pyramid of Giza. The Leowish finds its primary calibration between the New Earth star and the current Earth via the Corbola Masada dynamic link, with other TEMPLA MAR satellite sites serving as reference points for further stability. Now, we went around and did some other work, Simeon and I, grounding other TEMPLA MAR nodes, the lesser nodes. One was in Hawaii. There's so much about this topic that I'm not going into here. The intention of creating this Earth Grid series is to really just touch upon certain aspects of it all. And even then, as you can see, there's quite a lot to it. The third part of this series will speak about the ascension chakras and the Golden Taya, which were just mentioned in this last part of the video here.